Good evening, black people and all allies fighting for black liberation, black prosperity, and black joy. I'm Charles Blow, and welcome to Prime. 1 week after President Biden touted voting rights as a priority, there still has been no solution offered for dealing with voting restrictions in Republican-led states or for dealing with the filibuster. In fact, in that time, President Biden delivered a rather insubstantial speech on strategic plan for moving voting rights legislation forward. Also in that time, Texas Democrats headed to D.C. to lobby members of Congress to pass comprehensive federal voting rights legislation. The Senate Democrats' next move will be holding hearings in states experiencing voter suppression or enacting new voter suppression laws. Chair of the Senate Rules Committee and co-lead of the For the People Act, Amy Klobuchar, is leading the charge and will hold the first Protecting the Freedom to Vote hearing Monday in Georgia. Earlier today, I spoke with Senator Klobuchar about all things voting rights. Senator Klobuchar, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Charles.
You are a lead sponsor. Absolutely. You are a lead sponsor for the For the People Act and the chair of the Senate Rules Committee. You plan to have a public hearing in Georgia on Monday, something that hasn't been done in decades. This will be done in conjunction with Stacey Abrams. You'll have people testifying like Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock. What do you hope to gain by having this public hearing in the state of Georgia?
Well, I think that it's really important just to get outside of those hearing rooms and all of Washington, to get out there to hear the real stories of what has happened to people. We're going to have a veteran who stood in line for 3 hours in the sun just to exercise his right to vote. Stacey and I, the day before, are going to meet with a number of voters in the suburbs of Atlanta to hear their stories. And to me, as someone who worked on that inauguration and literally stood on that platform where right literally 2 weeks before the insurrectionists had taken it over and we had still makeshift glass behind us and spray paint at the bottom of the columns. I saw how fragile our democracy was. And this is the next step. We have got to protect it every step of the way, because we know that there's a concerted effort going on around this country, led by Donald Trump, still led by Donald Trump, to undermine our elections, to make it harder to people to vote, to literally say to them, you can stand in the sun and no, there's no volunteers that can give you water. That is in the Georgia bill. Or one of my favorites that no one is really focused on, they changed the runoff, the one that Reverend Warnock, when he won that runoff, that was an amazing day, and Senator Ossoff won as well. They shortened it to 28 days, the time period after an election. But then they said, but you have to register 29 days ahead of time, Charles. So if you want to vote in the runoff, which they've decided you have to have, and you didn't vote in the general and you haven't registered yet, that's it. You can't exercise your right to vote. That's just one of about 15 negative things that's in that Georgia legislation that has been signed into law. So the For the People Act would fix it. The For the People Act would put into place a number of basic federal voting rights, firmly grounded in the Constitution. The Constitution says we can make and alter federal election laws, and that's why we need to pass it.
Right. Senator, I understand that. I understand the idea of shining a light on the injustice of these laws and having people come before the committee who can, give personal examples of what has happened to them. I get that. But you met with, representatives from Texas who have left that state to prevent that state, at least stall that state from passing a massively restrictive voting rights legislation. And one of those representatives left your meeting, Representative Nicole Colliers, and said she's basically passed the baton to you and the other Senate Democrats to take it the rest of the way. What does that mean, other than doing things like this, which shine a light? But where do you take the baton, other than to beg Joe Manchin to change his mind about changing the filibuster?
Very direct. When she said that, I was standing right next to her, and I agreed. She was giving the torch to us. So we can't just extinguish it and say, well, right now, we weren't able to get the Republicans to allow us to debate this. That's what happened. They cut us off. Every Democrat voted to allow the legislation to go forward. And I refuse to take that torch and just set it aside. I think we need to continue to put the pressure on. And going to Georgia is just one piece. It's not the only piece. That's what those Texas legislators are doing. And then, and this is what I think you want to get to, we want to pass this. So here's some choices, and here's some ways we do it. One is the John Lewis bill will be working its way through the House. Of course, that's a different tactic based on due process and restoring the Voting Rights Act. Get that through the House, which it will pass. Get it through the Senate and add some of these provisions from the For the People Act. That's one. The second thing is listening to Senator Manchin, who, by the way, in good faith negotiated some compromise legislation that both President Obama and Stacey Abrams have supported, that I have worked with him on. Not everything's worked out, but it's in a really good place.
But compromises that the Republican leadership in the Senate shot down immediately as soon as he said that he was for them.
Exactly. So then you get to the process, and Senator Manchin has indicated a willingness to do a standing filibuster. That's something that has to be explored, or if he will do a limited change to the filibuster. Let me be clear. I would abolish the filibuster today, Charles. I want to get not just voting legislation done. I want to get climate change legislation done, immigration reform, police reform, so many things. And after a while, this just becomes ridiculous. Given that not everyone agrees with me on that
you mentioned that he has said he might be open to some changes in the filibuster, but just yesterday he basically said filibuster's off the rule. I'm not changing my mind on the filibuster. He said that earlier this week. This openness was earlier in the season. The more recent statements have been much more direct, much more against change at all. Do you still have hope that, aside from what Manchin has said this week, that he is still open to changing the filibuster?
I just don't give up hope, because our own colleagues, you've mentioned Senator Reverend Warnock, who will not give up on this. That's why he is joining us at this hearing. He's not giving up. John Tester in Montana is a major advocate for the bill. These are people that Senator Manchin respects, that he listens to, and so I have not given up on reforms such as changing the filibuster for this bill, requiring our colleagues to actually stand instead of hiding behind their desks on the Republican side and actually stand and object. A third way to get some of this done, not all of it, is through the reconciliation package that's going to be the one that President Biden talked about this week. We can get funding for elections in that bill, tie it to whatever we can to try to push the states to make changes. There are many different ways to approach this. And I guess my answer to up, and we are looking at every single possible strategy, because it is my personal belief that these guys lost an election, and instead of trying to change their message or change their candidate or change their views on policies, they decided they're just going to cut out a bunch of people. And basically, as Reverend Warnock has said, some people don't want some people to vote. That's their strategy. And even shedding light on it and registering people is a cause worth having, because if we're just pretending this isn't happening, well, then you look what happened back on January 6th when everyone pretended it wasn't happening. We literally almost lost our democracy, and I'm not going to let it happen again.
Representative Jim Clyburn has called the laws, voter restriction laws passed in Georgia and some other states as Jim Crow 2.0. Do you agree with that statement?
My words for this is that they are an assault on democracy. And I think that's what he's getting at. They are racist. They are literally, when you look at the attempts to limit Sunday voting, well, ultimately they got something out of that in Georgia. Those attempts are going on all over the country to try to get it out.
But Senator, that is what he's saying, right? That is what he's saying. That not only is it an assault on democracy, it is an assault on democracy that targets a very specific set of voters, not others.
that is what they're doing with these bills, and these laws. They're going after poor voters. They're going after black voters. They're going after Hispanic voters. They're doing everything they can. When you look at the Georgia law and really start taking it apart, they are going after people to confuse them as well. One of the requirements in the Georgia law is something they had gotten rid of before. And that was that during the pandemic, you have to put your birth date on the envelope. It is hidden in a second envelope. It's not revealed to the public. But who does that? Who puts their birth date on an envelope? What they learned was that people were mistakenly putting the date, which you can imagine doing, that they were submitting the ballot, and then those ballots would be questioned. They literally, and Reverend Warnock has a bill on this, they said to the local election board, and you can imagine they're going after people in certain neighborhoods, that if you have 3 technical violations in the last few years, that then this state can replace you and put someone from the state. So basically the state legislature in this law that passed took over the state election board, threw off people that were on it before, and then they're trying to take over the local elections and put new people in place that they are affiliated with. So to me, this is
Senator, I have only a little bit of time left.
Okay.
Right, I have only a little bit of time left. I just want to get your sense of how do you think these laws would affect the election in 2022 and 2024 if they are allowed to stand. And right now, I must just be honest, it looks like many of them, if not most of them, will be allowed to stand. What effect is this going to have?
It has an effect of limiting people's freedom to vote. It will have the effect of making it so people can't vote, so their ballots are thrown out. You can't just have less ballot boxes to drop off ballots. That's what they did with this bill. They said that the ballot boxes...
Will it mean that the Democrats will lose the House or Senate?
I can't predict all that because I think our people are so angry about what's going on that they're going to turn out in droves. That's what happened during the middle of the pandemic. But I know the game these guys are playing, and it's not fair and it's wrong. They're trying to tilt the playing field in their candidates. So I can't predict what's going to happen in the election, but I want to stop them from doing what they're doing so that they can have an advantage. And the advantage should be for the voters. No matter if people are Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they should be able to vote. And I have the highest voter turnout in the country in my state. And by the way, we have put in place Republican governors, Democratic, and Jesse Ventura, all right? But what we have is people feel part of it. They're not pushed out. They can same-day register, which is in For the People. Keith Ellison and I led that bill for years in Congress. We finally have it in this bill. So people on the federal basic right to same-day register, federal basic right to vote by mail, federal basic right to not have to get a notary public to get a mail-in ballot. The Constitution specifically allows for this, and we need to pass it. Senator
Amy Klobuchar, we will be tuning in on Monday to listen in on that hearing. Historic, I guess, since it hasn't happened in over 2 decades in Georgia. And I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Charles. We're bringing the Rules Committee on the road, and I just think you got to do things differently if you're going to pass bills like this. So, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.